I still can't believe I'm the one telling this. My name's Sarah. Well, that's not my real name here, but close enough. I was 32, working as an accountant in the Chicago suburbs, living what I thought was a pretty normal life. I'd been with Mark for almost 4 years. He started out great, sweet texts, remembering little things I liked, making me feel special. But bit by bit, it shifted. He'd get upset if I didn't text back fast enough, ask who I was, with at work, happy hours, jokingly check my phone. I told myself it was just insecurity. Everyone has flaws, right? When I finally broke it off in October 2023, after he showed up at my office yelling about some guy I barely talked to, I felt relief. I blocked him everywhere, told mutual friends not to share anything. I thought distance would fix it. It didn't. The texts started from new numbers. I just miss you. Can we talk? Then flowers showed up at my apartment. No card, but I knew his handwriting. I changed my number. Somehow he got it anyway. In January, I moved to a new place farther out, only told my mom and one close friend. A week later, a Valentine's card arrived. Happy early Valentines. We belong together. My stomach dropped. How did he find me? I went to the courthouse and got a restraining order. Showed them the screenshots, dozens of calls a day, photos of my car he must have taken while following me. Messages like, if I can't have you, no one will. The judge granted a temporary one. Mark got served. I thought maybe that would scare him straight. It didn't. He kept driving by my building. My neighbor's Ring camera caught him twice. He left voicemails from blocked numbers. You think a piece of paper stops me? Once he waited in the gym parking lot until security made him leave. He called the police each time. They took reports, said to keep documenting. Call us if he gets close. But they couldn't arrest him just for driving nearby or calling, not without him violating in a way that was immediate danger. I felt like I was screaming into a void. Friends said, move again, get a gun, quit my job if I had to. I didn't want to let him win. I changed my routines, different routes to work, never alone after dark, but I still had bills, a career, a life. Valentine's Day, I worked from home, ordered Thai food, figured I'd watch Netflix and ignore the holiday. Around 8:30 p.m., the buzzer rang. Intercom said, delivery. I buzzed them up without double-checking the camera. Stupid, I know, but I was expecting my food early. When I opened the door, it was him, Mark, eyes wild, knife already in his hand. He shoved past me before I could slam the door or scream. He tried to fight, grabbed his arm, scratched, kicked. But he was stronger. He stabbed me over and over, mostly in the chest and stomach. I remember the pain, the blood everywhere, him crying and saying, why did you make me do this? Like it was my fault. I don't remember much after that. Neighbors later said they heard the yelling and thuds, then a scream that cut off. Someone called 911 right away, within a minute or two. Paramedics and police were there fast, maybe 6 to 7 minutes total. I was still alive, barely. Unconscious, bleeding out. They got me stabilized in the apartment and rushed me to the hospital. 14 stab wounds. I coded twice on the table. Doctors said if the blade had hit my heart even a little more directly, I wouldn't be here. Mark didn't stick around long. He bolted out the door right after I stopped moving, left it wide open behind him. My food delivery guy showed up literally minutes later, saw the open door and blood, called 911 again, which helped speed things up. Police found Mark's car parked crookedly a block away. He'd driven off but didn't get far. He ended up at a bar about 10 minutes from my place, still in bloody clothes, drinking heavily and talking to himself. The bartender noticed how off he was, called the cops around 10 p.m. They picked him up there. My blood was all over him, his hands, his shirt. Phone records and traffic cams placed him at my building right around the time of the attack. He confessed almost immediately in custody. Said Valentine's was our day. Our first date was February 14 years ago, and me moving on felt like the ultimate betrayal. I just wanted her to understand how much I loved her, he told detectives. She wouldn't listen. The knife was still in his car trunk when they searched it. He was convicted of attempted first-degree murder and related charges. The judge sentenced him to 32 years in prison, with no chance of parole until he served at least 85% of the term. He's not eligible for release until his late 50s or early 60s at the earliest. I survived, but I'm different now. Therapy helps, but holidays trigger me hard. I still check locks 3 times, vary my routes, scan crowds. I share this because people need to hear it. Stalking isn't just annoying ex stuff. It escalates. Restraining orders are paper. They don't stop obsession. If someone's violating them, pushing boundaries, timing threats around dates like Valentines to hurt you more, get out, get help. Don't wait for the system to catch up. That's my story. I'm still here. That's something. I'm in my late 30s now, married with 2 young kids, living in a quiet suburb outside Austin, Texas. My wife and I bought our dream house in the spring of 2022, a 3-bedroom craftsman with a big yard, perfect for raising a family. We outbid one other buyer by about $15,000. It seemed like a standard real estate situation. We never met the other bidder. We only saw the name once on the paperwork, Jessica Monroe. We moved in June. Everything felt right for a few months, until the first card showed up. Late August, a plain white envelope in our mailbox, no stamp, clearly hand-delivered. Typed note inside. Enjoying my house? You don't deserve it. No signature. We figured it was just someone disappointed from the bidding war, letting off steam. We laughed it off nervously and threw it away. A month later, another one arrived. Hope the new paint covers up how much you stole. That's when the unease started. My wife took photos of everything, and we filed a police report. The officer said it was likely petty revenge, nothing they could act on right away. Keep collecting them. Call us if it escalates. It escalated. By Christmas, the anonymous cards and letters were arriving every couple of weeks, some typed, some in block handwriting. They called us thieves, said we'd ruined someone's life. They knew details they had no business knowing. Our exact move-in date, the color we painted the front door when we got the dog. Someone was definitely keeping tabs. In January 2023, we installed Ring cameras front and back. That's when we caught her on video for the first time. A woman in a hoodie and sunglasses walking straight up our driveway at 2 a.m., dropping an envelope, staring right into the camera like she wanted us to know it was her. Police identified her from the footage and DMV records. It was Jessica, the outbid buyer. They went to her apartment and gave her a firm warning. She denied everything, said she was just driving through. No arrest. Police told us she'd been instructed to leave us alone. She didn't listen. After that, the harassment changed direction. She stopped targeting us head-on and started going after our neighbors instead. Around Valentine's Day, 2023, the first planted card appeared in the next-door couple's mailbox. signed with my name, written like a private note. Thinking of you tonight. Can't wait until she's out of the picture. The wife came over in tears, thinking I was stepping out. We explained the whole thing, showed the camera footage, apologized repeatedly. They accepted it, but the seed of doubt was planted in the neighborhood. It didn't stop. Every few months, another card or note, always timed around holidays, always signed with my name or my wife's, always hinting at secret meetings or hidden intentions. Then came Valentine's Day, 2024. She mailed printed flyers around the neighborhood, advertising discreet private visits with my wife's name and our exact address listed. That night, strangers actually showed up. 2 different men knocked, asking about the arrangement. My wife was shaking. I was furious. We went back to the police. They added stalking and harassment charges, got us a protective order. Jessica violated it in less than a month, caught on camera, parked across the street at 1 a.m., just staring at the house. Police arrested her at that time. She bailed out the next day. The worst came on Valentine's Day 2025. She posted ads on shady websites offering intimate company at our address, including photos she must have taken from a distance or scraped from old social media. Dozens of people texted our home phone, knocked on the door. Some got aggressive when we said it was fake. My wife had a full-blown panic attack that night. She couldn't sleep properly for weeks. We had to change our phone number, lock down every account, stop posting anything personal online. She was finally caught in late 2025. One of the men she'd drawn to our house saved screenshots of the ad and reported it. Police traced the burner email and IP back to her. When they searched her place, they found everything. Printed photos of our house, drafts of the notes, a notebook full of our routines, neighbors' names, a calendar with Valentine's drop circled year after year. She was charged with felony stalking, harassment, identity theft, using our names in the ads, disorderly conduct, and multiple counts of violating the protective order. She took a plea deal, 18 months in county jail, 5 years probation, mandatory mental health treatment, and a permanent protective order. She's out now, but she must stay 500 feet away from us for life. One more violation, and she goes back inside for a long stretch. We still live in the house. We love it, but it doesn't feel untouched anymore. Every Valentine's Day, we turn off the porch light, lock everything, check the cameras obsessively. Nothing since sentencing, so far. I never thought losing a house bid could turn into years of this kind of psychological siege. People usually picture stalkers as exes or jealous lovers. They don't picture a stranger deciding you stole something from them and then spending years quietly trying to ruin your peace, especially when the worst of it is timed for the day that's supposed to celebrate love. My name is Alex. I'm 34 now, but this all happened when I was 31. I live in Los Angeles. Well, I did back then. I worked as a freelance video editor, mostly from home, which made things both easier and harder when everything went wrong. Her name was Lauren. We dated for about 2 years. It started great. She was funny, creative, intense in a way that felt exciting at first. But over time, the intensity turned into control. She'd get furious if I didn't answer texts within minutes. She hated when I hung out with guy friends. She once threw my phone against the wall because I liked a co-worker's post who happened to be female. I broke it off in September 2023 after she showed up at a friend's house uninvited and screamed at me in front of everyone. I thought that would be the end. It wasn't. She started with the usual, new numbers, texting. I'm sorry, I just miss you. Long voice messages, crying at 3 a.m. New fake profiles popping up following me on my social medias. I blocked everything. She found my new number anyway, probably through a mutual acquaintance who didn't realize how bad it was. In November, she started showing up places. Outside my favorite coffee shop, near the gym I went to, once even in the parking garage under my building. I never saw her actually follow me, but she always knew where I'd be. I filed for a restraining order in December. I had screenshots, delivery receipts, photos my neighbor took of her sitting in her car outside my place for hours. The judge granted a temporary order. Lauren was served. She cried in court, said she was just trying to apologize, that she still loved me. The judge told her to stay away. I thought maybe the official paperwork would finally get through to her. It didn't. She violated the order constantly. She'd park across the street and watch my building. She sent letters to my P.O. box, handwritten, pages long, alternating between begging and rage. I showed the police every time. They took reports, added the violations to the file, but they said unless she made direct physical contact or an explicit threat in the moment, they couldn't arrest her. Keep documenting, they kept saying. I changed my routines. I stopped going to the same places. I asked friends not to post anything about me online. I even got a Ring camera for my door. I tried to move on. Started seeing someone new, casually. Nothing serious. Lauren found out. I don't know how. Maybe one of my friend's stories. Maybe she was still checking my old socials through fake accounts. Either way, the messages got darker. I saw you with her. You're making a mistake. You'll regret this. It was Valentine's Day. I was planning a low-key night. Dinner at home with the woman I'd been seeing. Nothing fancy. Around 9:15 p.m., my Ring camera pinged. Someone was at the door. I checked the feed. It was Lauren. She was holding a bouquet of roses and a small gift bag. She rang the bell again. I didn't answer. I texted my date to stay in the living room and called 911. While I was on the phone, Lauren started talking through the door, loud, frantic. Alex, open up. I just want to talk. It's Valentine's Day. You can't do this to me. I told the dispatcher she had an active restraining order and had violated it multiple times. They said units were en route. Then I heard the glass break. She'd smashed the small side window next to the door with a brick she'd brought in her bag. She reached in, unlocked the deadbolt from the inside. The door flew open. She came in fast, eyes wild, clutching a kitchen knife she must have pulled from her coat. "You're not doing this to me," she kept saying. "You're not." I backed up, putting my hands up. My date screamed and ran to the bedroom while still peeking to witness from the door frame. Lauren lunged. I blocked the first swing with my forearm, got a deep cut. The second one caught me in the side. I grabbed her wrist. We fell, wrestling on the floor. I was bigger, stronger, managed to pin her arm and knock the knife away. She was screaming, crying, hitting me with her free hand, saying I ruined her life, that I belonged to her. Police arrived not long after my call. Lights flashing, loud knocks. They cuffed her and pulled her up. She was still yelling my name as they dragged her out. Blood was everywhere. Mine, mostly from the stab wound and the gash on my arm. Paramedics got me to the ER, 6 stitches in my arm, 8 in my side. The knife missed anything vital, but I still have nerve damage in my left hand. Typing hurts sometimes. Lauren was arrested on scene. They found the brick, the knife, her fingerprints all over it, the gift bag. Inside was a framed photo of us with "Forever" written across it in red marker, and pages of handwritten plans, dates, times I left the apartment, notes about my new girlfriend. She told police she just wanted to give me a Valentine's gift and that I made her do it by ignoring her. She was charged with attempted murder, burglary, violation of a restraining order, multiple counts, assault with a deadly weapon. The prior violations, the planning, the fact she came armed and broke in, all of it stacked up. I moved out of state. I don't post anything about my life anymore. I still flinch when someone knocks unexpectedly. Valentine's Day feels like a trigger instead of a holiday. People always assume the man is the dangerous one in these situations. They don't expect the woman to be the one showing up with a knife, breaking in, trying to end it all on February 14th because she can't stand the idea of you moving on. I was 27, working at a mid-sized marketing agency in Denver. New job, new city, trying to start fresh after a long-term relationship ended badly. I was friendly with everyone because that's how I've always been. Smiling, saying hi, remembering people's coffee orders. I didn't think twice about it. His name, we'll just call him Ethan. He sat 2 desks over in the creative department. Quiet, kind of awkward, always wearing the same gray hoodie. He started small, complimenting my work and meetings, asking me questions about campaigns he didn't really need help with. I answered politely. I thought he was just shy. Then the little things started piling up. He'd accidentally bump into me in the break room every single morning, even if I changed my schedule. He'd leave notes on my desk. Nothing creepy at first, just great job on the pitch with a smiley face. But they kept coming, even on days I didn't present anything. One day I found a single red rose taped to my monitor. No card. I threw it away and told my manager I didn't like anonymous gifts. She laughed it off, said it was probably just a secret admirer. "It's sweet," she said. I didn't feel sweet. I felt watched. I started keeping my distance. Short answers, no small talk, headphones on. Ethan noticed. He got quieter, but the staring didn't stop. I caught him watching me from across the open office more than once. I'd look up and he'd quickly look away. In early January 2024, I started dating someone new. A guy I met through friends. We kept it low-key, but Ethan saw a photo I posted on my private Instagram story. Someone must have screenshotted it, or he had a way of seeing it. The next day, he cornered me by the printer and asked, voice shaking, "Who's the guy in the picture?" I told him it wasn't his business and walked away. That was the first time I felt scared. I reported it to HR the next day. I showed them the rose incident, the notes, the way he'd linger near my desk. HR said they'd talk to him. They did. He apologized in a meeting with both of us present, said he didn't mean to make me uncomfortable, that he just admired me. HR told me to let them know if anything else happened. They didn't move his desk or change his schedule. Things got worse after that. Anonymous texts from a number I didn't know. "You deserve better than him." Photos of me leaving the office, taken from across the street. I changed my number. The texts kept coming from new ones. I blocked them all, but he always found a way. I started parking in different lots, taking different exits. I told my boyfriend everything. He wanted me to quit. I didn't want to lose my job over someone else's obsession. Valentine's Day 2025 fell on a Friday. The office had a half-day casual dress, everyone bringing in treats. I brought cookies, said hi to people, tried to act normal. Ethan wasn't there in the morning. I thought maybe he called in sick. I felt relieved. Around 3 p.m., most people had left. I was finishing up some emails, planning to head out early. The office was quiet, just a few stragglers. I heard footsteps behind me. I turned. It was him. He was wearing a dark jacket, hands in his pocket. His face looked wrong, pale, eyes glassy. He said, "I just wanted to give you something." He pulled out a small box wrapped in red paper. I said no, stepped back. He kept coming closer. You don't understand how much I care about you. I told him to leave me alone. I reached for my phone. That's when he grabbed my wrist, hard. I yelled. He panicked. He had a knife in his other hand, small, folding, the kind people carry for protection. He stabbed me twice in the side before I could twist away. I screamed louder, kicked, hit him with my laptop. People came running from the other side of the floor. One of the senior designers tackled him. Security arrived seconds later. I was bleeding badly. 2 deep wounds, one punctured my lung. Paramedics got there fast. Surgery that night. I spent 6 days in the hospital, another 2 weeks recovering at home. I still have scars and pain when I breathe deeply. Ethan was arrested on the spot. They found more in his car. Photos of me printed out, a notebook full of letters he never sent, a list of my routines, even the name and address of the guy I was dating. He told police he just wanted to talk, that Valentine's Day made him realize he couldn't let me be with someone else. She was supposed to be mine, he said. He was charged with attempted first-degree murder, aggravated assault, stalking, and a bunch of other counts. The prior HR report, the texts, the photos, all of it came out. He took a plea deal last year, 25 years, eligible for parole after 20. I don't work there anymore. I left the city. I still look over my shoulder in parking lots. I don't post anything personal online anymore. I used to think being friendly was safe. I learned the hard way that some people don't see friendliness. They see permission. This happened 3 years ago when I was 29. I'd been casually seeing someone for about 8 months. Let's call her Claire. We met through a mutual friend at a trivia night. She was smart, funny, a little intense, but in a way that felt passionate rather than alarming at first. We weren't official. We just hung out a lot, texted constantly, went on dates. I liked her enough to keep seeing her, but I wasn't ready to call it a serious relationship. Around mid-January, she started dropping hints about Valentine's Day. Things like, I've never had a real romantic Valentine's before, or I want this year to be special. I thought it was sweet. I planned a low-key night, dinner at a nice Italian place we both liked, then back to my place for dessert and a movie. Nothing over the top. A few days before Valentine's, she asked if we could do something more meaningful. I said sure, thinking maybe she wanted flowers or a handwritten note. Instead, she sent me a long text outlining her vision. A private dinner at her place, candles, music, and at the end of the night, she wanted us to make it official by exchanging promise rings she'd already bought. She attached photos of the rings, simple silver bands engraved with our initials and the date, February 14th. I panicked a little. 8 months isn't long, and we'd never even talked about being exclusive, let alone promises or rings. I texted back gently that I cared about her a lot, but wasn't ready for that step yet. I suggested we keep the dinner, but skip the rings and just enjoy the night. She didn't reply for hours. When she did, it was short. Okay, I understand. Followed by a heart emoji. I figured she was disappointed, but handling it. Valentine's Day came. I'd showed up at her apartment with flowers and wine like we'd planned. She opened the door, smiling, but something felt off. Her eyes were red, like she'd been crying, and the place was decorated way more intensely than I expected. Rose petals everywhere, a table set for 2 with candles already lit, soft music playing, and a small velvet box sitting in the center of the table. We sat down to eat. She was quiet at first, then started talking about how she'd been planning this for months, how she'd told her friends and family we were taking the next step tonight. I told her again, calmly, that I really liked her, but I needed more time before anything like rings or promises. She nodded, but her smile looked forced. After dinner, she pushed the box toward me. Just open it. Even if you're not ready, I want you to see them. Inside were the 2 rings. She took one out and slipped it on her finger, then held the other out to me. I didn't take it. I said I couldn't accept it right now. That's when she started crying, quiet at first, then louder. She said things like, "I thought you loved me. Everyone else gets their happy ending on Valentine's. Why am I never enough?" I tried to comfort her, but she pulled away and went into the bedroom. I heard her sobbing through the door. I waited a while, then knocked and said I was going to head home so we could both cool off and talk tomorrow. She didn't answer. I left, feeling awful, but also relieved to get out of there. The next morning, I woke up to dozens of missed calls and texts from her, starting apologetic, then angry, then pleading. By afternoon, she was posting cryptic stories on Instagram, black screens with captions like, "Some people throw away love on the one day it matters most," and photos of the uneaten dessert with the caption, "Plans change when you're not ready." She tagged me in a few. I messaged her to please take the posts down and that we could talk in person. She didn't respond. Instead, she started showing up places. First, it was my coffee shop, the one I go to every Saturday morning. She was sitting at a table when I walked in, acting surprised to see me, saying she just happened to be in the neighborhood. Then my grocery store. Then outside my apartment building, waiting by the entrance with coffee, like she was bringing me breakfast to apologize. I told her clearly, over text and then in person, that I needed space and that the drop-ins were making me uncomfortable. She cried again, said she was just trying to fix things, that Valentines had broken her heart and she couldn't let it end like that. I blocked her number. She started using new ones. I blocked those too. She created fake accounts to follow me on social media. I went private. Then the letters started. Handwritten notes slipped under my door. "I still have your ring. I wear mine every day." Valentine's isn't over for me. One had a photo of her wearing both rings, smiling at the camera. I filed a police report for harassment. They took a statement, said it sounded like an obsessive breakup reaction. But since there were no direct threats, they could only document it and advise me to keep records. They suggested a no-contact order if it continued. It continued. The following Valentine's, a card arrived. Photocopy of the ring receipt. Note. 1 year ago today, you said no. I'm still waiting for yes. The year after, another card. Pressed rose petal. I'll always celebrate our day, even if you won't. I moved apartments last summer. New place, new routines, no location posts. Thought it was over. Last month, February 2025, I got home from work and found a small package at my door. No label, no postage. Inside, a silver ring with my initials, wrapped in tissue. Underneath, a handwritten note on the same stationery. Happy Valentines. I kept it safe for you. I can't wait anymore. If you won't wear it, no one will. No signature. But I knew. 2 days later, February 15th, a mutual friend texted me in a panic. Claire had posted a long Instagram story the night before. Photos of the 2 rings side by side on a windowsill. A half-empty bottle of wine. Captions like, "One last Valentine's for us, and you were right, I'm not enough." Then a final black slide. "Goodbye." She didn't show up to work the next day. Her roommate found her that morning. Overdose, sleeping pills mixed with alcohol. Intentional. She left a note addressed to me saying she'd held on for 3 Valentines, hoping I'd change my mind. But she couldn't face another year of waiting. The police contacted me as part of the routine follow-up. They asked if I'd seen any signs. I told them about the notes, the appearances, the ring delivery. They said it looked like a long, slow spiral triggered by that rejection years ago. Her family blames me. Some friends still do. I don't post anything anymore. I don't celebrate Valentines. Every February, I check my mail, my doorstep, my phone, half expecting another envelope, another ring, another message. But nothing comes. Just silence.